Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Meme. This is going to be a different video. I normally do eBay videos, but I'm really excited. I want to show off a board game I got for the holidays. This is going to be a sequel to one of my favorite games ever. It was Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated. This is going to be Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated Part 2, Darkest Magic. It has a mouthful of a title. Seriously, the first one was my favorite board game ever. It's a legacy deck building game where you play as employees to the Acquisitions Incorporated, and you're going off against rival factions competing for different resources on the land, and there's a bunch of like story to go through. There's a bunch of different changes you make to the board and the world. It uses these characters from Penny Arcade, which unironically I've never actually read any Penny Arcade stuff, so the fact that I happen to like it just shows how good the story is. It's well written. Annetta loved it as well, so I'm super excited. We're going to be opening this up. But first, I want to go through like the actual, like the back and like the story and what you're actually going to be doing in this one. Acquisitions Incorporated is opening a franchise in chilly North Rim between a ruthless rival corporation, a devious frost dragon, and a mysterious conspiracy that could be the key to everything. Jim Dark Magic's recruits have their hands full. Can these misfits overcome their flaws and become a true team? Play a 12-game campaign where your successes, failures, and choices permanently change the game. Play quirky characters and guide their stories forward. Make your mark with stickers and scratch-offs. Compete with your coworkers and cooperate against bosses with their own unique decks. The fate of Northrim hangs in the balance. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open this up carefully real quick. Let's see if that's enough of a rip. So yeah, I'm super excited to dig into this one. We're going to set aside a bunch of time to actually play the whole campaign. Legacy games do take a while because in order to get the full experience, you kind of have to go through the whole thing. Sometimes not even a couple games is good enough. I like that every board game or legacy board game you play is different than someone else's version. Yeah, there's gonna be some stuff that's kind of similar. It really depends on how the board game is designed. But I just find it such a fun experience. It's kind of like a movie of a board game for me. Legacy is my favorite type of board game. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. It's been a while since I got, it's like really stuck on there. It's been a while since I got a new board game. Like I said, this was a gift. So, all right, there's gonna be a lot to this. This is super heavy. All right, congratulations on your new franchise. This game is very thematic here. They make you feel really immersed. They make you try to feel like you're actually employees to this company and stuff like that. And they really have a lot of stories. So here's the rule book. It also has a bunch of these. How does a legacy game introduce new rules into the game? They'll have these stickers where you add them to the rule book, so then you know what the new rules are. So yeah, there's a bunch of different spots here. As you play the game, new stuff's going to happen. A lot of that stuff is based off of choices you and everyone else makes. So yeah, I'm super excited for this. I already see some like weird packets or something on the back of this box right here, so it might be useful later on in the campaign. So you got to be careful with everything in a legacy game. Sometimes there's just stuff that you're going to be using. We have the player board right here, like the Clank board. This game, you're going to be making noise with you'll have cards in your deck. Some of the cards will do good effects, but they'll make noise, and it's thematic to, you kicking around, and then it will attract the dragon. So you'll add these cubes over here. Well, I guess not over here, but there's a bag where you have the cubes, and then when your cubes are pulled from the bag, you'll be taking life points as if the dragon found you. Once you hit 10, you're knocked out. It depends on if you have an artifact or not and where you are on the board for how much points you get. Normally you have to be on the above half in order to get scores, and then if you take your artifact and exit the whatever castle or whatever it is, you will, I don't know what it is for this one, you'll get like your full point extra bonus points. Over here is like the little dragon track where how many cubes are pulled whenever there's a dragon attack. That's based off of the deck in the game. As people purchase items in the deck, new cards get flipped over. If there's a dragon symbol, there's a dragon attack. And if the dragon is right here, you'll be pulling 4 cubes, where later on in the game, you'll be pulling 5 cubes right here. This is going to be the little marketplace, 7 gold per little market items. They're good things, like little keys to get past certain areas. Maybe it allows you to have an extra artifact in the game. Maybe you'll be able to get like potions and stuff like that. So these are going to be all the punch outs right here. I know some of this stuff, but they're obviously going to add new things to the game. So you have the gold coins over there. You have a bunch of these major and minor secrets. So there's kind of like a board game. When you go on certain spots, you'll get bonuses. You'll flip them face up and you get to use them. And then over here is going to be these little markers, reminders for different quests, because you're playing a legacy game and you have a lot of these little side quests that you want to do. You put these on the board to make sure that you know like where those are, so you don't have to memorize. You don't have to use too much like brain power when playing this game. For people who don't play modern board games, I know this looks like a lot of stuff. This one is a relatively like simple game, and the fact that each game builds upon the other, as long as you play like a legacy game at least like once every few weeks or once a month, you'll be able to retain it. This is super cool. You have your official missions report. This is where you keep track of everyone's score. It lets you know where some story events will happen, where you guys get to make choices. This is where a lot of the magic happens. And then we have the, oh, it looks like something got slightly a little bent here. That's annoying. It should be fine though. We have this board. Here's the huge board. I can't really unfurl it right now, but this is gonna flip out. It's gonna have a bunch of different places. This has like an artifact. This has a story that you go through. Some, you see right here, this town, it's a blank right here. So you're probably going to name that town. So you can name it like, I don't know, Retro Dream Beam World or something like that. And then I always have fun with that. So there's small permanent choices you make, which kind of don't really matter from game to game, but it really gets you immersed with the people that you're playing it. You feel like it's your own. There's also going to be bigger choices with cards and other stuff like that. I don't know all the secrets to this game, so I don't know like what actual choices will be made. Right here is the Book of Secrets. I don't actually want to open this. I can't remember fully, but this is probably going to be some of the new rules and stickers and stuff that you add throughout the game. So I'll keep this. This also might have some of the story lore, but I think that's going to be something I don't want to open right now. So it looks like we have these 4 character booklets. This one unfortunately came bent. Not a big deal. I'll deal with it. It looks like there's milestones that you place in the back. You're putting like actual stickers on this. This is like a pretty cool game. You can actually make notes for the different scenarios. So we have the haunted character. I usually let Annetta pick first, and then we'll probably play as 2 players, and then I'll pick the character afterwards. We have the Defiant, this like dragon scale lady with a sword. The haunted is just kind of like a necromancer dagger wielding person. Then we have the vengeful. Looks like they have a little sword, and then they have a rope right here. And then you're gonna have different bonuses probably for the different characters. You'll make different choices. The ambitious right here, like a dwarf lady, I think, with an axe. So yeah, it looks like there's gonna, like, you actually keep track of stuff in here, like in the booklets as the game goes on. Obviously this is the second one, so it's gonna be different than the first one. It's been a long time also since we played the first one. Oh, sticker sheet right here. So there's going to be, this is basically a lot of the changes that you make in the game. You won't be using all of these. You'll be using whatever choices you guys make, side quests. There's a lot of branching paths in this. Think of like a choose your own adventure book, but like board game form, kind of. It's kind of like that. Here's a token sheet. You're actually going to be introducing new mechanics. Maybe there's like new keys or more like buffs or something, little potions or something. You never really know what's going to be in here. You just have to be careful when like the rule book tells you like, hey, make sure to just only pull out this token sheet. And then we have the little miniatures. I'll probably spend time painting the 2 that I choose from. So yeah, there's the 4 characters right here that I was just talking about. So you got the 4 characters, and then you also have the dragon right here, the frost dragon. That's the little token. You use this to go onto that board earlier, which shows, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. This will actually, you use this, like place this on the board, obviously not hanging upside down like this, but you'll place it on there, and that the dragon advances as like you grab their eggs and stuff, like the minor secret token and stuff. So over the course of the game, the dragon gets angrier and more likely that players will get knocked out. So there is a timer in this game, which is kind of fun because like this particular game, I like the timer so then it doesn't last too long. It's not going to be like 2 or 3 hours. Usually there is a bunch of reading in the thing with the book, with the different lore and stuff, and sometimes placing stickers, open up new rules takes a little bit of time, but once you get going and then you learn the new rules, it goes a lot faster. Really cool felt bag here. This is where you put all the cubes. If you play like a slash attack and it has a couple of Clank, you have to put the cubes in the bag. Everyone starts with some cubes in the bag based on who goes first. They get more cubes in the bag. That's the upside for going first, but then downside is you make more noise busting into the dungeon. There's dragon cubes in here, and then also in different Clanks and expansions, there's sometimes other stuff that goes inside this bag. So this is a really cool bag, well designed dice bag, but not for dice. Here's all the cubes for the little players. These are going to be your Clank cubes. These are things you do not want going into the bag. Then you have your little ring so that you can keep track of, like, if you're playing the dwarf right here, I forget her name, the Defiant or something, and you're the green player, you can put the little green plastic rings so you can like look down and remember who you are. So you have those. They gave some extra baggies. These are the black dragon cubes I was talking about. There's just a generic amount that start in the bag. So when those get pulled, it's kind of good for everyone. It's just kind of like a neutral thing so players don't get knocked out too quickly. You always know how many black cubes are, in the bag. So you always can like, there's a little bit of math you can do where like, well, maybe if the dragon pulls 4 cubes and I only have 2 life left, but I know there's 5 dragon cubes in there, I might survive. And then you don't survive and then you lose and then you cry about how the math was against you. All right, this is going to be like a little locker cabinet thing that doesn't have anything. If I remember from the first one, this is kind of like where you're going to get like just stuff in the game. It will tell you, it will go into this locker cabinet. I don't know the official name for this. Nothing in here now, but you'll have your permanent choices and stuff in here, maybe different scenario cards. This right here, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to open, so I'll only take a partial peek. So this looks like I think this is a new mechanic. I think there's bosses in the game where the first one didn't have bosses, so I think there's going to be ways to yeah, I don't know if I don't want to look too much at this. I like this stuff to be a surprise. These are tarot-sized cards. I also, during the Kickstarter, I did not really look up too much information. So this is like other than me talking about Clank Legacy Part 1 and maybe like 5 minutes of pre-research into this game, this is going to be all raw for us. Haven't really seen it. So you have your little character talk boxes right here. They also are going to have, well, you also have your little booklet. The first game didn't have a booklet. You're also going to have your starting cards right here. Each of the players, I can look at these. This is not a big deal. So like, oh, it looks like there's no specific cards for the character at least. So you will get stuff specific to your character as the game goes on. At least that's how the first one. So yeah, you'll keep all like your stuff from game to game in here. You play 12 games for this one. This right here, I have no idea what this one is. I see like 2 battle axes. Like I said, I'll take a quick peek. I don't want to like, I see like a sealed deck of cards. Oh, this is maybe just like the... Maybe this is just like the basic cards that you start with your deck. You will be unlocking more cards as the game goes on. So this is probably like your, I forget the official name for it, but this is going to be like the deck cards where you're purchasing new stuff with your abilities. There's also another sealed pack of cards here as well. I'll make sure to read the instructions to make sure that I don't mess with anything. And then they have a cardporium, or at least they called it the cardporium in the first one. This is going to be a cool magnetic box, I think. Let's see, is this one magnetic? Yeah, see, it's magnetic. So this is going to be usually all of the stuff that can happen within the campaign. So it might say, go in there, reach for a card, whatever, 35. I forgot how they organize it. I think it's by number. You can go in there, and then it's going to be part of your permanent deck for your players. It might be like a ghost you saved, so now you have a ghost card in there. It might be like because you did this side quest in this specific manner, you get to add cards. So you're going to actually have different cards than other people's games, depending on your choices. So yeah, some of the stuff might be the same, but some of it's gonna be different. I do know that there is a scratch off mechanic in this game, so that's pretty cool. So you're actually, instead of just doing Sharpie and stickers to add different stats and stuff to cards, you're going to have a full-fledged scratch off. I think I saw it right here in one of the starting cards. I mean, obviously you're going to start with this, so it's not like a big spoiler, but it looks like there's a little scratch box. So maybe at some point you're going to earn a little bonus here, or maybe it's not a bonus. This is just a stumble card that gives you +1 Clank. All your starting deck starts with some stuff that makes noise. So you can't avoid getting eaten by the dragon. It's always going to be possible that you can lose. So there's no way to, I think, ever actually survive the whole time. There's also a timer mechanic where, like, I think if it's the same as the other games, once there's no more cubes in here, the dragon just starts attacking, or there's some kind of like end of game tiebreaker or timer or something. All right. That's everything that I can see up here. It's a legacy game. There's probably more stuff underneath this particular tray. I'm just making assumptions based off of other legacy games. There's always like hidden surprises and stuff around the corner. Sometimes you'll be looking at a piece and out of nowhere, you'll be looking at like a flavor text on a card, and it might say something like, oh, you just discovered this. Go ahead and fetch something. So it's a really cool experience. I'm really excited to play this game. I'm really, really excited to play it. Annette and I are going to play all 12. We're going to have a blast. She likes deck builders. I like deck builders. I think Clank Legacy Part 1, favorite board game. Really good experience. We actually spent, when we had more money, $100 for the game. We did the whole campaign, and then we rebought it, I think, for like $80, and we did it again. We basically used a consumable board game twice at that price point, and it was definitely worth it. So we actually played that one twice. It's a lot of fun. We did different stuff the second time around. But yeah, all right. I just wanted to go through this. This is a really good game. Mileage may vary depending on what kind of games and stuff you like. You don't have to take my word for it. I don't think the Clank series is for everyone. I just like it. I think it's, let me just summarize. I think it's the best mechanics within the best theme, best aesthetics, best story, and best a good amount of fun and competition. It's just like, as a whole, it's a lot of fun. Obviously, I haven't played this one, but I expect this to be a blast. It looks really well made. I hope if we like this one that they make more in the future. But yeah, such a good series. All right, thanks for watching. Something different. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.